Hello guys, ZTech99 here and welcome to possibly the most controversial video I make in all of 2022, and it's literally the second video I've made. We are doing the 2022 NRL season predictions. As you see, just like last year, we have got a tier list. Let's just go through the rankings. You've got minor premiers at the top, you got top 4, top 8, 9s to 12, bottom 4, and finally, Wooden Spoon Merchant, the ever illustrious Wooden Spoon Merchants. Now, before I get into this, I must state, this is basically just my opinion, so if you do get offended, in a very polite way, basically. But, yeah, so if you want to make your own, saying you think this team is going to go here, then that's fine. Because that's all it's all about. Like, no one really is going to actually get a perfect one. Until today. So here we go. So instead of doing it from alphabetical order in terms of team, I'm actually going to do this by position. So we're going to start off with a very big heavy hitter, the Wooden Spoon. And whoever this supporter this team is, I'm very sorry, but I don't think it's going to be good for you. It is going to be, in my opinion, the West Tigers. It's just, as you saw from like last year, the Tigers have just been in a bit of a dodgy era. I mean, like you had that 60-point loss game to Melbourne, and just I feel like they've lost more talent than they've actually gotten back. It's definitely like a rebuild season for the Tigers. So hopefully in a couple of years they can try to get back. I mean, it has been like almost a decade that they haven't made the finals, so it's a dire situation for the Tigers. But it's just, I don't know, man. It's just going to be a bit unfortunate for them. But I feel like the Wooden Spoon this year will be going to the Tigers. I need to actually have the photo up so I can actually get everything correct, so I don't make any additional mistakes. Moving on now to the rest of the bottom 4. And now, these ones are going to definitely get a lot of controversy. In the bottom 4, I think it's going to consist of my team, the Newcastle Knights, the New Zealand Warriors, and the North Queensland Cowboys. Holy shit, if this isn't going to get me flamed on the Rugby League YouTube social media. Basically, it's just like the Cowboys, in my opinion, just really haven't improved. It's like, yes, it's like they've kind of got rid of their best player to the Knights a couple of years ago and last year. It's like Tamalolo can only do so much, and it's just like they're just going to be in the same position. It's like I don't really see them moving up or down. Like, I'm not going to say the Cowboys are going to get the spoon or anything, but yeah, Warriors in a bit of a similar situation. I mean, people are going to think this is a bit extreme for the Warriors positioning, like, which probably is, but it's just like, it's like, I don't know, I think like them having to stay up in Redcliffe this year is going to be quite hard for them. I know at some point later on in the season, they will hopefully go back to New Zealand for the first time since 2019 and actually play some games. So maybe it might be bumped up a little bit more. So maybe even challenging for the finals, who knows. And now the Knights. The Knights being placed in 13th position, my team. Granted, the last times I have done this and saying that the Knights will not make the finals, they ended up having, but this is quite considerably like a sort of a weaker team, because obviously Mitchell Pearce is now no longer at the club, along with Connor Watson. And it's now like we've got Jake Clifford and Adam Clue, which is meant to be our 5'8" and halfback pairing. It's just it's going to be a little bit significantly worse. So I do think we're not going to make the finals, but even like bottom 4, I think it's a little bit extreme, but yeah. So next up, we are going to move to the 9th and 12th. Who are the teams that are going to just miss out? So in 12th place, I'm going to go with the St. George Dragons. Again, the Dragons have just been in this weird, like, oh, if they put themselves hard enough, they can probably just make the finals. But they haven't really in the last couple of years. I know, like, Dufty leaving is a bit of a weird thing. I don't understand why they didn't go for him, but yeah, it's just a bit odd. And I do think the Dragons will be in this. It'll be like close. I think like 7th to like 12th will be like close. It'll be like last season, because like the separating from the great teams to the just filling up spots teams is a bit. Let's just say it's a bit out of the ordinary. So yeah, it's going to be really close in that department. In 11th place, I'm going to go with the Brisbane Broncos. Obviously, because Adam Reynolds being the halfback, I'm not saying that Brisbane are going to automatically make the finals, but I do think they're going to make a considerate charge. It's going to be very interesting to see how they do go, because with Reynolds and also the players that have left, Xavier Coates being one of them, going down to Melbourne, it should be interesting to see what does happen. So if Brisbane make a few more signings over into 2023, I can definitely see them making the finals next year. Now we're going into 10th place, and it's going to be one of the usual suspects in these situations. It's going to be the Cronulla Sharks. Obviously, in terms of last season, they were alongside Canberra, the Titans, and the Knights in trying to get the final 2 spots into the finals, and unfortunately it didn't make it out. It's just, like, I just don't see him going further up. I definitely see him staying in this sort of position, but I just don't see them going up. Like, granted, they are going back to Shark Park this year. They're no longer ground sharing with the Dragons, so I think that's going to be pretty good. So hopefully we get a few more extra wins there in fairness. So hopefully that does go well. Now, the team that will just miss out, the West Tigers 9th spot place, I think it's going to be Canberra. Again, it's like, you can pretty much almost just carbon copy the exact same thing I said to the Sharks. It's like, Canberra, it's just like, I don't know, like, they were really good at the start of the season, but there's just all this toxic bullshit that happened in the, with the coach and obviously a few other players. It's just like, I feel like they will get on a good run, but it might just collapse and fall off. So you never really know what's actually going to actually occur. So that is my bottom 8. So you can reach me on my social medias in the description below. If you want to flame me, go right ahead. So now the top 8. So I did say that the 7th and 8th position, along with 9th to 12th, will be the close one. So here are the ones that I think are going to just edge it out. In 8th place, the Bulldogs, and in 7th place, the Titans. Now the Bulldogs, and I know what some people are going to be thinking, just because they've got Addo Carr does not mean they're going to instantly make the finals. It's not just Addo Carr they've also got Matt Burton, who is easily one of the best centres in the league. Now I feel like if they fix it's not their attack that needs to be fixing, it's obviously their defence. So obviously they're going to struggle a little bit, but I do feel that the Bulldogs will make the finals this year. The Titans, when we go into that, I mean, you got Jaden Campbell, who's an absolute class player. They've got a really good young team up there at the Titans, and this can definitely gel and work themselves into the sort of position they were about 11 years ago. So hopefully they go well, and hopefully they don't, I hope they don't go far and actually win, because then we'd have to eat all of our goddamn words. But yeah, rounding out the 6th and 5th positions, we're going to go with the Sydney Roosters, if we can, look, there we are, and South Sydney. Yes, obviously considerably lower than what these two teams should be. I mean, the Roosters are dealing with trying to fill the gaps of their players that have gone away last year. I mean, next year for the Roosters, they are getting Brandon Smith in 2023, so they're definitely going to be starting a charge for silverware next season. I do feel they'll make the finals, but they'll be in the similar position as they were last year. And South Sydney, it's just I don't even know who South Sydney's halfback's even going to be. So I think they're going to still be competitive, but not as good as they were last year. So I think they'll still make the finals, but not in the qualifying finals positions. Now we move into the top 4. So in 4th place, we have Parramatta. Now, I feel like, honestly, this is Parramatta's last chance with this current core to make any sort of impact in terms of silverware. Because, obviously, 2023, you've got a few people kind of jumping the forbidden wall and signing for teams that are basically in considering of dog acts. But it's just, I hope Parramatta do make it to the semi-finals. And I hope they at least win a semi-final. Like, you got to really shake that monkey off your back if you really want to make a good charge there. So I do think Parramatta will get top 4 though. In 3rd place, I'm going to put the Melbourne Storm. Now the Storm have lost a few considerate players, obviously Addo Carr being one of them. Nico Hines being at fullback. He's now gone over to the Sharks. It's just, I don't really see them especially next year, I definitely don't see them getting the minor premierships. They'll still be top 4 because, of course they will be, because they're the goddamn Melbourne Storm, but it's just, I don't really see the Storm really being up there. Like, it's going to be close between, like, the top 4 teams, because basically between the top 6 and everyone else, it's like a fucking miles in comparison of the quality of players. But yeah, it might change a little bit because of some of the players going to formerly lesser good teams, but yeah, you never know. Now, who's coming second and who's getting the minor premiership? In second place, I have Penrith. I know. It's a very big one. Obviously, Penrith have lost players like Burton. I mean, they should still have their main core of like of Luai, Cleary, and To'o and all that, so they should be relatively fine. They'll definitely be in the top 2, and I feel like they definitely will be in the grand final next year to defend their title. But there's only one team left, and what that means is that, in my opinion, the 2022 NRL minor premiers. Oh, fuck. Whoops. Almost dropped it. Is the Manly Sea Eagles. When I did this live, because I did this in a live stream, a lot of people were very confused with my decision making. It's just obviously because people just consider Manly as just a one-player team, and when that one player does not perform well, the whole team shits the bed. I feel like with the Manly team now, you got Ruben Garrick, you got Brad Parker, Morgan Harper, you got Cherry Evans playing some of the best football he's ever played in a while at club level, and if you say you're wrong, you're lying to yourself. It's just like, if they all work together, so even if Tom Trbojevic has an off game, you're going to still have Garrick who's going to get the most points in a season. It's like this is like starting of like a super team, the Manly super team. The Super Eagles, you can call them, if you will. So yeah, that is who I think is going to be the minor premiers. So here is my ladder predictions. What do you guys think? If you want to send me hate mail, my social medias are all in the description below. And what are your predictions for 2022? Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later.